so we can get going. So tonight we're dealing with three topics, of course. And some of you, I'm looking at some of you that are here who I know were not here last year. So you missed when we had the conversation um titled Mind Fucked, and what it meant, what it felt like, what it be like to be mind fucked. And in other words, that meant to have someone to play with your mind, and so some manipulative person to be so manipulative, so good at it, so good at being manipulative, so possibly narcissistic that you couldn't tell your head from your ass. That you were just, you got to a place where you started second guessing every step that you took, every thought that you made, because the person was so slippery, so narcissistic, that's how they made you feel. So that whole discussion, I see Soggy Paws coming in. Hey, Soggy Paws, what's going on? Tell me what you think about the new format that you are looking at right now. This is what I have been working on for weeks and couldn't get it going for you last week. I see several more people coming in. Please do me a favor and check in. Just give us a alias or your name and where you're where you're coming from. I know, but listen, I'm looking at kids KFI that said I definitely need an alias big time. That's why some folk got one so they can say what they wanted to say. But don't worry about it. I ain't gonna call your name. So if they don't know who you are, I ain't gonna tell them who you are. So we had a whole discussion. If you are on Instagram, come on and follow us over here on YouTube. I have a I have a I have a goal of 1,000 subscribers before I go to Gambia in February so that I can record from my phone. Soggy Pause, you said, what do you mean? What do I mean by what? Um, Let me know. Give me the question because I missed it. But KFI, excuse me, we won't say your name if we don't know. If no one knows you, we won't tell them who you are. So anyway, the whole conversation was about being mind fucked, and a lot of information came up, a lot of thoughts and ideas that that really, that really got us to thinking about what it was to be mind fucked and how many of us have been mind fucked. We said that too. Many of us have been mind fucked. But there were some other things that came up in that idea, the idea of being mind fucked, that I want to discuss. So we're going to deal with that right now. Add that to the screen. Hopefully you'll, there it is. Okay, so we'll add that to the screen. Uh-oh, wrong topic, wrong topic. Let me get back out of that. We want to go ahead and deal with being mind fucked, part 2, right? So we'll get rid of this one and let's go with this one. All right, mind fucked reloaded. And some questions came up, right? After that discussion, that whole discussion, because I mean, we had lists. We had a list of things where people oh, Soggy Paw said, what's the new format? Can you see the overlay? You see well, there was some more stuff before you came in, but can you see the frame around my face, and can you see the the icon in the corner? Let me know. And then there's some more to come and some more that I put on before, but really I'm talking about overlay. Maybe I shouldn't say format, but overlay. Let me know if you see the overlay. Soggy Paws. So there was a lot of information that came up about um, some conversation that came from that discussion. So it made me think about some more questions that I might have, and so that is what I want to deal with today. So let me pull up some thoughts that I actually put in my folder from the conversation that I had earlier this week about being mind fucked. So if you all just give me 1 second, I'll be able to pull those up. Let me see. Please tell me I didn't get rid of the questions. I think I did get rid of the questions, but okay, I can remember something anyway. So the first question came this way. Okay, so Soggy Paw says, yes, I see the tan frame and words. I see the logo too. Get perfect, perfect. Then that means you'll see the other stuff that I'm gonna put up a little later on. But here was the question. Here was the question. A lot of people said, or several of us, this came up in the list of things that, well, narcissist. We talked about this. Somebody said the narcissist typically search for people that are weak. And that brought on a whole new discussion afterwards, after party kind of discussion I had with a couple people. So my question for you is this. Here's the question, or this is the thought I want to deal with right now. We know that narcissistic types or mind fuckers are looking for decent people, no doubt about that. Because they have to have decent people to do what they want to do, right? To um it's almost like a leech. They need decent people from which they can pull from, they can take from, they can live off of, right? So my question to you is everybody that is targeted by a narcissist or a narcissistic person weak? Can they be considered weak? Is everybody, so that's the question, is everybody who is targeted by a narcissist weak? And if they are, tell me about it. If yes, tell me why. And if not, tell me why not. Tell me why it doesn't take a weak person to be targeted by a narcissist or a mind fucker, because it's the same thing. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. I'm looking to hear from you. Is the person who is targeted by the narcissist, is that a weak person or not necessarily? Is that person always considered a weak soul or not? If you say, yeah, those who are targeted by narcissists are weak, then tell me why that is. I see Tanya Wallace. Tanya Wallace, I've been missing you, girl. Hey, I've been missing you. I'm glad that you came on tonight. I am glad that you're here. I really do miss seeing you, and I miss being able to hug your neck at Yaktown Poets. I really do. I really do. So thank you for coming. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We are talking about narcissists tonight. This is the second piece of that's how I'm calling it Mind Fucked Reloaded, because we dealt with being mind fucked the last week. So just kind of give you a little bit of recap for those of you, and I still see more people coming in. Oh, good. Okay, so you're not working. Well, I'm glad you missed me too. That make me feel special. So let me just recap a little bit. We talked last week about the fact that most of us have been mind fucked before. And when we say mind fucking or being mind fucked, it had to do with being manipulated by someone who was so good at manipulation that it made you second guess who you were. It made you second guess your thoughts. Almost like, kind of reminds me when Eddie Murphy did, I think it was Raw, and he was talking about how men get over on women so bad that you can see them coming, you can see them in the bed with another woman. And if that nigga say to you, it wasn't me, you get to thinking, well, maybe it wasn't you. And the reason being is because he's so manipulative. He's so good at being a manipulator, a mind fucker. He is such a narcissist or has narcissistic behaviors and attitudes that he is able to put it on you so bad in your head, or she in your head, that you can't think straight. That discussion came from something that we talked about, that we saw on YouTube. Actually, it was a pastor who got into a tiff with some woman. It was horrible. He married her, but when he got through talking about what all she'd done to him, or at least that's the way he said it, what all she'd done to him, he said, she has fucked my mind. I am mind fucked. And I thought, yeah, you really are mind fucked, right? You really are. And that's what brought on the whole discussion. So we're coming back to that today because there was some discussion that went on between me and a couple other people after the live last week. And so the question came up because someone said it in the chat. They said, narcissists or mind fuckers look for weak people. So my question to you is every woman or man who's targeted by a mind fucker, is that person a weak soul? That's my question. Okay, so Soggy Paws has an answer. She says they're more likely to give them what they need, which is the confirmation they desire. Okay, so she's saying, I think your point is, Soggy Paws, that weak people are more likely to give the narcissist what they need, which is the confirmation they desire. Is that what you're saying? Soggy Paws, let me know. I see Danielle respond, and Danielle says, no, they are not weak. Soggy Paws, please let me know which if I had that correctly, if I restated that correctly. And then she said, yes, I did. Okay. And then Danielle said, no, they are not weak. If they are not weak, Danielle, tell me why they are not weak. She said, so Danielle is saying that those who are targeted by narcissists aren't weak. Explain that to me, Tanya, please. Danielle. Tanya says, I think we attract a little bit of who we are. That's good. That's good. Tanya says she thinks that we attract a little bit of who we are. Elaborate on that, please, Tanya. Tell me what you mean by that. Although I think I agree with it, but just give me a little something. Tell me what you mean by that. Instagram, we are on YouTube, right? And we are on YouTube in the Wednesday night live, topics, tantrums, and tea. We are under VBTouray on YouTube. Come on over and join the discussion. I would love for you to do that. Let me see who that is. Oh, that's Dooley. Dooley, get your ass over here on YouTube. Why is you on Instagram? Why is you on Instagram? Come home. Come home. So you can get in the conversation. Okay, let's see. Okay, so Tanya, yeah, I really want to talk more about that. Tanya said, I think we attract a little bit of who we are. Soggy Paw said, I don't think they're always weak. They are the yin to their yang. Yeah, I want to highlight some of these. I wish I could highlight them because I want to make sure I come back to them. Danielle says, politicians and preachers and other emotional vampires. She said emotional vampires. You preaching tonight. She said, politicians, preachers, and other emotional vampires target entire communities. That's good. The best ones are so good, you'll never know they're abusing and manipulating you. Girl, she said politicians and preachers and other emotional vampires target entire communities. The best ones are so good, you'll never know they're abusing and manipulating you. And if that's the case, I love that. And that's in response to Dee saying they're not weak, that those who are targeted are not necessarily weak. I love that, Danielle. That's absolutely true. That is absolutely true. Politicians and preachers and other emotional vampires target entire communities. So it doesn't matter how weak or strong you are, because they'll take the whole shebang. And we all know there's a whole lot of that going on in a whole lot of places. So amen to that, Danielle. I agree to that 100%. 100%. Soggy Paw said they feed off each other. Some folks like being controlling, others like being controlled. That's good. That's that yin to yang thing. And I think you're right about that too. Because what it reminds me of, Soggy Paws, is it reminds me of the a bit of the conversation we had last week when I was saying that what's interesting too is they look for they look for decent people. They look for moral people. And so those of us who are moral, who try your best to be the best you can, and who try your best to be good to other people, should realize that you are going to attract that type. You know, that is that yin to yang. You can expect to attract that type because, like attracts all kinds of things that you don't want to attract. Okay. Amy Johnson just came in. Welcome to the ride, my baby. She said, "Excuse my tardiness. I took a nap." Well, at least you took your nap on the front end this time as opposed to the back end. So, welcome to the ride. Welcome to the ride. Good to see you. So, Amy, we are talking about this. We're reloading from last week, right? Just for a little bit. In terms of, hey, Megan, what's going on? Come on in here. Come on in here. Self-care is good, Amy. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So listen, Amy and Megan, we're going back a little bit to touch a little bit of what we talked about when we talked about being mind fucked last week and mind fucking. And I had a conversation with a couple people following that. They said we need to have some kind of we need to have some kind of afterglow or something so we can go over this stuff. And I said, well, we can always do like a part 2. And that's what we're doing right now. Because the conversation came up in a chat last week. Someone said that these narcissistic type people, these manipulators, these mind fuckers, actually target weak people. And after we talked about it, we wanted to dive down into that some more, to flesh it out some more. So my question at the top of the hour was, do these manipulators, do these mind fuckers do they actually look for people who are weak? That's the question. And I got a lot of really good responses so far. Soggy Paul said, "I don't think they're always weak, but they are the yin to their yang," right? So she's talking about those opposites attracting, or I would say that light attracting darkness, right? Okay, so then D says, politicians and preachers, and this was this right here. Politicians and preachers and other emotional vampires target entire communities. The best ones are so good, you'll never know they're abusing and manipulating you. And I said, well, damn. Tanya Wallace said, it has nothing to do with weakness as much as it does with who you are personally. And a lot of times we need to ask ourselves, what is it? Tanya, it was like you was here last week. What is it about me that I've even attracted this type of person to me? We talked about that last week. We talked about that in detail last night. Last week. One of the things came up was that whole thing about light and dark, and how the light, if you put a light on in your house or in your room, you can leave the door open to your house if you want to, and bugs and gnats and every sort of thing will be attracted to that light. And those who are, and I liken that light to those who are trying to be good, those who are trying to do the right thing, those who are trying to care for themselves as well as other people. So these people who are manipulators, who are looking for a mind to fuck, these people oftentimes are dark or at least hurt souls, right? And many times, and I'm adding this week, in many ways, the healing is in the light as well, right? Now, I'm not saying that means that we should go out here and look for, every Tom, Dick, and mind fucker. I'm not saying that. I ain't saying that at all. But I am saying that when you carry the light, there is healing in the light. So those who may be manipulating or may be operating in those caverns many times need healing too. They don't know that, but that's that yin. That's the yin to their yang, right? His or her yang, in my opinion. Whatever else you want to, anybody have another, anything else to add to that topic, please do so. That's some good information. Tanya, I wish you were here because you're so opinionated too. I wish you were here last week. I really do. But that's okay. You're here this week, and we're moving on to a couple other subjects too. So I'm sure you have something to add. Megan said, words. Sometimes I think for sure seek out what seems at the time to be some balance and stability, but it's not always like that when you snag a narcissist. Yeah. And sometimes those of us who are empaths or healers don't often know too that you are in search of something to fix, something to heal, something to nurture. You know, some of us are attracted to wounded people. But most of the time, it's because if you are, it's probably because you're an empath. It's probably because God has given you that healing ability. You feel me? Tanya said, yes, when you have a healing spirit, you tend to attract dark motherfuckers. That's yes. Dark motherfuckers and dark mind fuckers. All the same thing. You absolutely right. It's true. It's true. Danielle said, yes, they're drawn to or look for someone who can fix, feel their broken parts, but they end up breaking others. Absolutely. Absolutely. Danielle said what Tanya said. Yes, that's what I was thinking. But exactly what Tanya said. They follow the light. And that, again, that is what we have to remember, that they follow the light. Because sometimes I think that we can get hard on ourselves, because like you're saying, Tanya mentioned earlier, there is some of us or there is we see some of us in them, right? I do. Here's the other thing that let me add to that. Let me flesh that out a little bit. That's the yin and yang piece too. It's all convoluted in there together. But I think also that if you are a light fixture, sometimes what's attractive is people that are more aggressive than you are, right? Who might be, which is why a lot of times I think women who are good girls, and the same for men who are good guys, are often attracted to the bad boy or the thought. I think that's part of it, because that's the yin and yang. That's a little bit of, maybe in this case, maybe not that I see myself in you, but maybe I see in this case, I see something that I like in you that may not be in me, because again, we complement each other. So it all just runs together. It all runs together. But I do think it's important to know, first, to recognize it, to be able to recognize it. When you start getting older. I know Tanya and I have had this discussion before. As you start getting older, you start seeing things a little differently. You start doing things a little differently. And that makes for a world of difference. But as you get older, because you see things differently, you can see that thing coming down the street, and now, what it is, because you've seen it several times before, and you don't have to go that route. I also think that we should feel responsible enough to share that information, though, with someone who is younger than us, so as to hopefully help them avoid some of the same pitfalls that we found ourselves in. Okay, Tanya said, but we have to be careful with where we're at. I agree with that, but I want you to explain, so I know that we're on the same page. She said sometimes we have to be careful about where we're at. Explain that to me, Tanya. What do you mean by being careful with where we are? Let me know. Anyone else have any comment on this topic? Let me know. And if not, we'll move to another one very soon. But anything else on Mind Fucked Reloaded? Oh, see, I was thinking about spatially. You talking about something totally different. She said our state of mind, but we have to be careful where we are in our state of mind. Give me some more. Tell me some more. Teach, Miss Wallace, teach. We have to be in a certain state of mind when we are out and open for, I think, relationship, I think is what you mean, but you let me know. Or when we are open to hooking up, one way or another. Okay, Megan says she got some. Hold on, hold on. I'm holding my mule, Megan. I'm holding my mule. Let me know. Let me know. You all do me a favor. Meanwhile, please share the stream. Please share the stream with someone. You can either copy it and paste it into one of your social media sites, or you can share it with a copy and paste into it and share it with a friend. But please share the stream so that I can get these 1,000 subscribers before I leave for the motherland. And I appreciate y'all coming tonight. I sure appreciate you all. Okay, and Megan says she got something, so I'm waiting on you, Megan, and I'm waiting on Tanya. Let me know, and anyone else who has anything to go to that, and then we'll move on to the next topic. Hopefully, you all are having a wonderful week so far. What's up with that? Kind of hate to bring it up, but where y'all with the election? Where you at on that? How you feeling about this election? While we waiting on these, just let me know. How you feeling about the election? Oh, Lord Jesus. How y'all feeling about this her election? How it be? Let's be honest. Be honest. Who you think gonna win? Let me know who you think gonna win. What is your spirit telling you? Who is your spirit that's telling you will win this here election? Tanya said loneliness, lust. Mm. I always say if you see crazy walking down the street, why is he now laying on your couch? She said loneliness, loneliness, lust, etc. I always say, if you see crazy walking down the street, why is he not laying on your couch? Wait, that reminds me of my soror. My soror said one time, man, every time I think about it, this has probably been, God, it's probably been 8 years ago that she said this. But she said she was dating this guy, and her girlfriend asked her, "You still dating so and so?" She said, Dooley, you remember this. She said, hell no, I ain't dating that motherfucker no more. He ain't dragging his nuts across my couch. He ain't dragging his nuts across my couch. Man, I was laughing so hard. Oh, that was funny to me. All right. All right, so then Megan says, I feel like once we can be cool with ourselves, I am single in my own. That's good. I'm single in my own place for the first time in my life, and we might be working on it, but whatever. Buying myself flowers and having some candles, that's big, Megan. It means a lot. I know it does. It means a lot. I always tell. I remember, I had a friend who was, he was single and just did not want to be single, and he kept telling me he didn't want to be single, and I said to him, listen, take advantage of the time you have, because here's the thing, here's the truth about life. Here's one thing that I will say to anybody, and nobody can negate it, and that is nothing lasts forever. Nothing. Everything will change at some point in time. I don't care what it is. At some point in time, everything will change. So it is in your best interest to take advantage of what you have right now. And at that point, at that time, he had solitude. I said, take advantage of the solitude, because there will be one day, trust me, one day will come. And he wanted to be married, he wanted to have children and all that. I said, listen, take your time you have, because I guarantee you, there will be a day when you get what you're asking for, which is a wife and children. And when you get that wife and children, you're gonna say many a day, "Ooh, if I could just have a moment to myself." If I had just have a moment to myself. But in order to do that, you gotta be comfortable with yourself. So I think that's really big. I think you should enjoy your, yeah. Enjoy your single time, because it won't last. It won't last, and you will. But you'll there'll be some days you'll long for this day. You know. Yeah. D said, I feel like drinking and praying. Well, whatever you got to do, get you some wine. You know, Jesus drank wine. Vegas said, laugh out loud. We got it. I'm feeling some kind of way about South Carolina and Montana. Yeah, me too. Me too. I hope we got it. We shall see. Megan, OMG, Megan, I'm adopting 2 kittens tomorrow. Oh my gosh, 2 kittens. The babies are gonna love that. You can't be right in a relationship if you can't be right on your own. Oh, that's good. That's right. I agree with that. 100%. I absolutely agree with that. You can't be right in a relationship if you can't be right on your own. Amen. Amen, sister. I believe that. Okay, last comments for Mindfuck Reloaded. Any last comments, go ahead and put that in the chat. Danielle's talking about the election. She said 4 more years of this foolishness and I'm going to need more than wine. Girl, what you say? I keep thinking, I don't know. I of course I hope that that Biden wins. I hope that. But the truth is, either way, whoever get in office, we in for some shit. Because if he remains in office, we already know what kind of shit show that's gonna be. And when Biden gets in office, he got to clean up all this shit. And this shit everywhere. And it's gonna be, if he gets in office, Trump is gonna do everything he can to make him miserable and to make us miserable because he wasn't reelected. So I just think it's a time to really be prayerful, because we just really don't know. Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone for right now anyway, because I don't want to go low. I don't want to blow my high. So moving right along. Let's do this. We'll go ahead and we'll do our tea break first, our tea time first, and then take a quick little break. Y'all, I'm so excited about this new platform. I don't know what to do. So here we go. It is tea time. Tea. So here we go. I am drinking tonight moringa tea. And please let me know in the chat what tea you're drinking, because we are in a pandemic, we are drinking tea for wellness, right? We're drinking tea for wellness because we understand and we realize that we need to take care of ourselves in any way that we possibly can. Anything we can do to build our immune system, that's what we're doing. So moringa leaf tea is what I'm drinking. It's grown in Africa, Asia, in Latin America. It is great for weight loss. Moringa is known to be rich in a number of essential vitamins and minerals, and it's also said to help mobilize stored visceral fat. 2, it's good for blood pressure control. Moringa tea, which is prepared from dehydrated and ground moringa leaves, is said to help in blood pressure control as well. This has been credited to the presence of quercetin, I think it is, quercetin in it, which is said to reduce blood pressure. Blood sugar control. Moringa leaves may also help people suffering from diabetes, as it contains the antioxidant chlorogenic acid, which is also present in coffee. Blah, 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 blah. It fights cholesterol buildup. Moringa oleifera may also help reduce levels of cholesterol. And finally, it has beauty benefits. The powerful antioxidant abilities of moringa mean that it may also help improve quality of your skin and hair by fighting inflammation and oxidative stress in the body. Antioxidants may help keep toxins at bay and potentially clear the skin. So that is moringa leaf tea. Please let me know what kind of tea you're drinking tonight. And I do have a little something in my tea tonight, so I'm going to share that with you. But you know what's going on with that. So I'm drinking, ain't nothing like a little Crown Royal bag, right? So I just added a little vanilla Crown Royal to my tea tonight. Because why? Because the baby's asleep. It's the hump day. It's the hump day wind down. And I can do what I want. All right, so Megan Casey says she's drinking Rooibos. AKA African red bush. Exactly. It's naturally pretty sweet tasting, not caffeinated. I do have some red bush. I like red bush tea. And I got turned on to red bush tea watching. I don't know if you watched, if you saw this, Megan, or anyone else. Hey, Trace, what's going on? Tracy just woke up. Tracy, we are just finishing the Fucked Reloaded. So you're just in time to go on to the next topic. But I started drinking red bush tea after watching the series that Jill Scott was in called The Number One Ladies Detective Agency. If you haven't seen that, Megan or anybody else, I'm sure you would like it. And just well, I don't think anybody on here wouldn't like it. It's a really good series. They only did six episodes, and then she got pregnant, and that was the end of it. But it is a really good show. Tanya said, as much as I love, I'm not willing to compromise my peace for it. My single time is mine. In the meantime, I'm working on me in regards to the election I voted. That's it. I kind of feel like, be careful. I kind of feel like in terms of that, I think it was Larry Reed who said he's he said I'm voting for Biden because he ain't Trump. Because I really don't want to vote at all. I'm just not even happy with the choices. I second that emotion. I really do. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving right along.